Hello guys, what's up? This is Fenwick and welcome to TD TV. Right, so thank you for joining us. And if you're joining us for the first time, please make sure to subscribe. So today we want to talk about how you can have a good or a better conversation with your girlfriend on WhatsApp. Right, so this can also apply for both sides, probably for females or for males. But today I want to focus on males, how you can have a fruitful conversation with your girlfriend on WhatsApp, right? I understand this topic. I'm not talking about it for the first time. Probably you may have came across some videos which have been talking about this, but they haven't been made from Zimbabwe. So this is something which is in relation to people who are in Zimbabwe, right? So when it comes to you having conversation with your girlfriend, there are certain aspects, there are certain things that you need to know, that you need to do. There are certain topics, discussions that you need to have, so that at least your girlfriend might not be bored and end up talking to other guys. I understand we've got different views in terms when it comes to how we can chat with girlfriends, and I understand it differs from men to men, but at the same time there are those who cannot even, we're not even able to have a good conversation. Probably so we want to have this video so that probably I might help those guys, right? So if you are the guy, you have to make sure that one, you have to have conversation starters, right? You need to find something that you can say that can start a conversation with you and her, right? Let's say, for example, you might talk about the weather, right? Just to ask her how is the weather there. It forms a ground for you to start having a conversation, right? And also your statements that you're always going to, in response, whether you're responding to what she has said or you want to ask you something, make sure your sentence is not closed at the end. It's an open question. When I say an open question, I mean, like, let's say you say hi, how are you? Understand? It's like you've given a room to answer. Understand? Like, hi, how are you? I'm okay. How you doing? Right? You always have to, if you are the guy, you always have to have a statement which is also like asking, asking something from her, right? Because you don't have just to end up in just like you are the guy, so you are the conversation starter. So make sure whatever you are going to write in the chat, make sure it is not closed-ended, but it's open-ended. It has to explore, it has to ask her, it has to make her answer something, right? Hi, how are you? I'm okay. How are you doing? How is it there? How's been your day? What have you been up to? You are asking, right? Other than just say hi, how are you? I'm okay. You are the guy, you don't have to answer those questions. And you have to understand that when it comes to ladies, it's their weakness to answer you with closed statements, right? It doesn't necessarily mean she doesn't want to talk to you, but it's by their nature that they want to be the answers, not the ones to be asking. But it depends with the type of a lady you're talking to. Right, so it depends with the type of a lady that you'll be talking to, because some ladies to my radio to not always, so it's not every lady closed statements, right? So another thing, then you have to find a common ground. You have to speak on a deeper levels, so that you can get to find a common ground. Now want something so that you can talk more about it, right? So you can even, let's say you can check your account, of course we might call it stalking, but you might just check your account just so that you can see chicha and what's her interest, so that you can run around her interest. Let's say probably you've seen a picture with her holding a guitar. You might say, hey, I've seen you holding a guitar. Do you play a guitar? Do you sing? Are you in the praise and worship? You're trying to find a common ground with her. If you also sing, then you say, yes, I also sing as well. You'll be trying to find ways of finding, so that you can have a deeper conversation with her. So once you connect with her in terms of then at least you can have a conversation. the idea of this video is to try and find ways we can improve our conversation on WhatsApp. I understand it's not everyone who is not bad in terms of WhatsApp, but kuno vanhu vanenge vatonzwawo mabluetics aya vamwe vatonzwa probably nekutoblokiwa. So it's just a video to try and find ways to age the Zimbabwean voice on how you can really have a good chat with the lady that you will be talking to. Right, Saka, as a man, you need to be diverse, right? You need to find ways that you can have so that you can avoid texting the same messages all over again. If it is a way of greeting, then you need to find a way that you greet your lady. Not just one way, but different ways. If it's a name that you use to call her, then you need to find different names also that you can use in terms of calling her, because you need to be diverse when it comes to these things, right? So it becomes monotonous, it becomes boring if you have the same story every day. Probably every day you are asking about what she has ate. You ask it in the morning, you ask it in the afternoon, you ask it in the evening, you ask it the next 7 days each and every time. Then it becomes boring. Probably you can do it once, right? So you've greeted her. You made your greeting like in the morning, right? Then next time you're texting her, you're greeting her again. In the evening, you're saying it again. It becomes like you are repeating. So I think you need to be diverse in terms of what you do, in terms of the conversation. It has to show some form of creativity. You have to be creative, right? Ask her some questions, so that you can have a deeper conversation with her, get to know her more. So I understand that people usually their relationship goes like after they've had some time in the same relationship. People it gets to be boring. They get to be tired of just texting. But I understand that if you're a man, then you have to hold on more so that you can have some form of variety in your inbox, right? But one thing that I need to tell you that is very truth. That is the truth. Is that if if you're not so entertaining in the inbox, probably some other guy is going to be entertaining, because you're not the only person who likes that girl. You are the only person who is dating that girl, but you're not the only person who likes that girl, and there's competition, right? Of course, I think competition, but we are saying that you need to just have a certain position that you have, because when it comes to dating, you need to give your lady that age to defend you. Because you understand, you need to give her that age to defend the relationship. You need to give her that that energy to defend it. It comes from how you interact with her, right? So as a man here, we're saying you need to have a variety. Just have a lot of messages. Not just having the same. It becomes monotonous. I say again, it becomes monotonous. It becomes boring. That's when you be having those blue ticks. You having those like she'll be just answering you. We don't want that type of conversation. It has to have more energy and more talking, right? Another thing is you have to compliment her, right? Find compliments, find a certain aspect about her that you're gonna compliment about. A compliment is sort of a good statement, a good comment about someone, right? About something, about someone that you admire. So you have to compliment her about something that you what's this thing? Right, so you have to compliment about something that you like about her, right? Probably you like the way she talks, you like her job, you like her humility. She's a very quiet person. Probably you like the way that she talks too much, and you just tell her, but you make sure it remains a compliment, right? So you have to have my moment out in the conversation, compliment her, right? You're a good person, you're a good girl, you're a good lady, you're a lady of quality. I like the way you dress. You make sure that it's in the boundaries of being a good comment, not those deeper comments, because probably it's rather depend on how long have you been in the relationship. Probably you just started, then you start behaving deeper comments. probably it might provoke her, might insult her, because some comments are insultive. Don't just comment, but make sure you are in the line of a good comment, right? And the next thing, you have to be natural and confident. We've got guys who try to, they're trying to please, but in terms of you pleasing, you become so unnatural, you become so bragging, you end up bragging, and that is the problem. I've heard a lot of ladies complaining about guys who brag, they are always talking about themselves. Make sure you don't just talk about yourself, but you also make sure you include her in whatever you're saying. You make sure it's her that is included. Then lastly, problem usawanza message, having a lot of messages at the same time. You're typing this, a paragraph like this, it becomes irritating to the lady. So make sure you don't ask a lot of questions at the same time, you don't type a lot of things at the same time, but you give her also the chance to answer, because when she answers, that's when you know that the conversation is going on, other than just probably she's eating, probably she's watching a movie, then you are just having a lot of messages. It might become boring, right? More can be said. Thank you so much for joining me. Please continue to support me and our channel. Thank you so much.